Hello, this is Tasty Eats by Tess, and today we're going to be making a 7-layer Tex Mex dip. So let's go ahead and get started with this. On the pan here, we'll just put approximately a tablespoon and a half of oil, and it's one onion. It's about a medium-sized onion. Give that a stir around. Perfect. And we'll just let that continue. In the meantime, we can go ahead and chop up some green onion here. It's going to be a part of that 7 layers. This is just a rough chop here. We'll just go over that just a little bit here. I thought since it's a Friday night, why not treat ourselves to a nice cheesy dip. Great, we'll give that a stir here. Beautiful, coming along nice. Very simple dip to put together. While we let this cook, we'll go ahead and put together our cheese and cream sauce. So we'll go ahead with that. I think I'll go ahead and use this. This is, we're going to be using about a half a cup of sour cream in the bowl. To that, we're adding a half a cup of cream cheese. Just give that a mix around. Make sure it's well blended. Perfect. And we'll be serving this with some nachos so that we can dip it in there. Great. Just give this a stir around as well. It's starting to brown up, so I want to turn that down just slightly. Great. Give it a mix. Make sure it's going here. That's nice. Perfect. And to the cream sauce, the cheesy cream cheese sauce, we'll be adding a half a cup of sharp cheddar and a half a cup of gruyere. How can you go wrong with that? The reason we mix it with the cream cheese and the sour cream is if you're just simply putting cheese on top of your dip, once that dip gets a bit cool, you won't be able to dip your chips in it any longer. So this is the way around that. Once the cheese hardens up normally, if it's just the cheese without the cream, it's going to, it really does get hard and you can't stick a chip in there at all. So do make sure that you're using something to blend it with. Perfect. Great. So to this now, we're going to be adding, I'm using a veggie ground. You can use ground beef in this recipe, and it works perfectly. There we go. You just crumble that between your fingers and it separates nicely. I've also made a shepherd's pie the same way with the veggie ground. It works really well. Go ahead and give that a stir. Just make sure it's all broken up there. And to this, we're going to be adding some chili. You can use as little or as much as you like. I like quite a bit in mine, so it'll be about 2 to 3 tablespoons of chili. A teaspoon of onion powder. A teaspoon of garlic powder. A little bit of cumin in there as well, about a teaspoon, I would say. And all of this is to your taste. And this is coriander. You want to use this sparingly, especially since mine is freshly grated. So you just want a little bit, like a pinch in there. A little more than a pinch. Maybe a little more there. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's go with 4 spoons here. Give it a nice mix up. And it already smells good. And with the veggie ground, basically, you don't really have to brown this. You just need to cook this through until it's heated. Just let that go a little bit so that your spices are toasting up a little bit in here, and it brings out that fragrant flavor all through it. And this is some diced tomatoes. We're going to be adding 1/4 cup approximately. And to that, we're going to be adding 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Great. And that's all it takes. We'll put this together now. So I have here a small, I would say 10 by 10 baking dish. And we just start with the ground on the bottom. Just like that. Wow, it smells so nice. And there we have it. So we just flatten that out nicely on the pan here. Just like that. Evenly. Great. Then we'll sprinkle it with some green onions here on the top of the ground meat. And we'll save some of those green onions for the top as well. We'll put some corn. It's about a cup of corn. There we go. Some black beans, also a cup. Sprinkle that all over the top here. We have a half a cup of salsa. You will not need to add any salt to your beef mixture because the mixture already has salt in it. If you're using your own ground beef, probably you wouldn't want to salt it too much as well because everything basically that you're putting in the dish has salt in it. Now we have here, it's like almost like a cheese whiz, and it's called cheesy. And you melt that slightly, just so it's easier to spread over the top. And this cheesy, it has pimento inside. Right. And this is very salty, so you want to use this sparingly as well. Get that off. Spread it nicely around. Great. And now, for the end of this, we put that cream cheese and cheese mixture over the top. You want to put that probably in dollops so it makes it much easier to spread. Beautiful. And we want to get every last drop out of here. There we go. And just spread that around nicely as best you can without lifting everything off the top. Take your time with that. Turn this around. Nice. So this is going to go in the oven at 350 for approximately a half hour until it's heated through and bubbly on the top. So we'll just go and sprinkle a few green onions here on the top. Great. Looks perfect. All right. So we'll just give that, again, about a half hour, nothing much more than that. If it does need more for the bubbling effect and a little bit of browning on the top, go ahead and leave it in the oven a little longer. Oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. I strongly suggest just before your guests arrive, if you're making this for your guests, just bring it out of the oven the moment that they arrive. And it's all bubbly and gooey and everything like that. So what I've chosen is a hint of lime to go along with this 7-layer dip. Let's go ahead and give that a try. Oh, it's beautiful. Wow, you can dip it in here so nicely. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. Oops. Let's try it. Ooh, it's gonna be hot. Mmm. I tell you, this is going to impress everyone. It is so good. You must give this a try. And that's how it's made. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Have a good day.